overview about Pencak Silat Sparring. First off, if you're new to Pencak Silat, you gotta use your existing strengths. If you're good at punching, use your punches, use your power punches. If you're good at kicking, use your kicking. One of the things about Silat is that you have to use your fast twitch muscles, okay? It's a speed game and it's a power game. So you gotta develop your fast twitch muscles, okay? Some other sports are more about resilience and stamina. It's a speed and power game. Also, one thing to note, in Pencak Silat Tanding, you do not hit to the head and your fists are not covered. You're not allowed to wear gloves. It really helps to train realistic fighting using Pencak Silat sport. A lot of times in other martial arts, for example, boxing, they use gloves and they wrap their hands, which is not realistic to be on the street. Yes, you'll learn to defend your head and that type of thing, but actually striking with your hand, Silat sparring gives you a real idea of how it will feel to actually hit something with your hand. It's not the same as hitting with a padded glove. So one of the things I feel, even though they don't hit to the head in Pencak Silat sparring, it is a lot more realistic when it comes to striking. And you can incorporate all of these techniques that you learn, some of the techniques you learn, for street aspect. You can definitely, instead of hitting to the chest only, you can just move that to the head and use the technique. Your hands will be conditioned because you're not wearing gloves, so that means that you are, while practicing Pencak Silat, you are actually conditioning your knuckles and your fists to be able to deliver strong and power punches. So, you know, some people, they have some questions when they hear Pencak Silat, they don't strike to the head in sparring. Well, actually, they do strike to the head, even though it's illegal. A lot of times, you will get hit in the head, so you have to understand how to guard your head, for sure. But one of the things I feel is that it's a different way of training without the gloves and using your fists, bare fists, on the padded, on the other opponent. It's something that is a different feeling whatsoever, and it's something that will help you in your training and has a lot of applications on the street. You don't always have to hit somebody in the head, in the face, in order to defend yourself. There are a lot of other techniques that you can use, and you can use Silat to definitely help you with that. One of the things you gotta do is use your existing strengths. So you gotta develop your fast twitch muscles, okay? Some other sports are more about resilience and stamina. It's a speed and power game. One of the things that I feel that are very interesting about Pencak Silat fighting or Tanding is that you don't have gloves. In fact, in the competition, you're not allowed to cover your hand. Some people say this, you know, because we don't hit to the head, people wonder, well, is this really realistic? I feel that Pencak Silat gives an extra level of training, a different scenario where you're actually fighting without gloves. In other MMA and boxing, sometimes you get used to fighting with gloves, and that can hamper you, especially on the street. You don't realize how much impact your hand takes. Training in Pencak Silat will help you develop your hand strength and your speed and your resilience, your hand resilience and toughness. So that's one thing that you should focus on when it comes to Pencak Silat sparring. You can mix it with other arts that you know. If you take boxing, you can work on your boxing. You can use some of the techniques as long as you are hitting to the body. You can use some of that techniques. But remember, a lot of times in these other martial arts, they cover your hands and you wrap up your hands. In Silat, it's open hand, open fist, without any punching gear or gloves. So this is something that you have to think about, and I think it's very beneficial and adds a different element to the sport.